2 days ago, in my preview, I said, if we have a poor performance, I cannot criticize Pep Guardiola due to the injuries. I also said, if we do not win, I can absolutely criticize Pep Guardiola. However, not only has Pep Guardiola lied about injuries since he claimed Akanji, Walker and Ake were all injured when they weren't, he has failed to win this game, which was our chance to go 8 points clear of Arsenal. So, we'll quickly take a look at the players, give some player ratings first, and then I'll talk about the tactics and Pep Guardiola. Let's start with Ederson, who, despite conceding 2 goals, actually did his job for the most part, but he was so exposed this game by our back four that there's honestly no good answer for any player in our back four except a 0 out of 10, considering what we just conceded consistently in this game. So Ederson, I will give him a lenient 7 out of 10. None of you should be playing the next game, but we don't have anyone on the bench to keep any of them to keep any of them accountable. So we're stuck with them. If he had a proper bench, again, injuries kind of fuck us up, I know that. But if he had a proper bench, we could bench Gvardiol for that performance. That was horrendous. That was actually horrendous by Gvardiol. To be fair, we can play Diaz, Stones, and Lewis in the next game, which we absolutely should. These 3 players that we can bench should be benched, should have a punishment for that absolute joke of a performance, especially Kyle Walker again. I don't even want to talk about you. Absolute joke. And now, I know, they held onto the ball well, they went forwards well, they're defenders. I judge defenders on defending. So, I know, Gvardiol did some good work going forwards. His defending, which is the most important part about being a defender, was atrocious. He pretty much did nothing defensively. There were a few moments where he was completely caught out, where he was over this side of the pitch and the ball was over here. Like a Bournemouth player was on the ball over here, Guardiola was over here. Maybe you can blame Pep Guardiola's tactics for that. But surely, we have seen Guardiola play in this region before, we have seen him get back in time before, so either Pep Guardiola got completely figured out, so we should be howling at Pep, or Guardiola was simply not good enough. So we should be howling at Pep for not taking him off. Whichever the case, we should be howling at Pep about it. Guardiola, I don't really care if you were bad because Pep Guardiola's tactics were found out, or if you were actually bad. He gets a 0 out of 10 for me. Same is true with the rest of our back four. All 0 out of 10. I do not have any leniency to hand out with this pathetic defensive performance. Kovacic. I mean, you were dead, I suppose. 6 out of 10 as you did nothing, positively or badly. I feel like Kovacic did some good for us, but not enough for me to warrant giving him a 6. So, I think I'll go 5.5 for Kovacic. He wasn't atrocious. Well, he was, but he wasn't on the same level of atrocious as Gundogan, for example, who... Let's talk about Gundogan. Gundogan is probably where our midfield collapsed. Kovacic, I think, maybe got exposed a bit much because of Gundogan. So, when he let a lot of balls just go through him, just everyone was passing around him, maybe that's a bit Gundogan's fault as well for consistently having no control over the ball whatsoever or of the general play. Gundogan, I said in the summer transfer window, I did not want him back. When we did get him back, I said, I'm happy we got him back for the emotional reasons, but we still need a new midfielder. And how right I have been proven to be by, again, anyone who can use a brain who could have figured this out. I watched La Liga, bro. I don't understand why Premier League fans who did not watch La Liga were so mouthy about this shit, bro. Oh, you should be happy we have Gundogan back. He's a baller. Bro, I watch La Liga. I know this guy is washed. I've seen it. For sentimental reasons, sure, keep him. He can do a job off the bench, but bro, he's not a starter anymore, bro. I can't lie. Now, Bernardo Silva. Hey, guess what? I also predicted this in the summer. He's washed. In the midfield, especially. Why did we have him in the midfield? I mean, I know why. Pep Guardiola managed to keep Bernardo Silva by promising him a role in the midfield. That is why he's playing in the midfield. That is why we are shrugging off Foden to the right wing again when we were playing at our best when Foden was in midfield. I know all of this stuff, bruv. I know all of this stuff. You know why I know this stuff? Because anyone with half a brain can figure it out. Why else would Bernardo Silva play in midfield so often? Pep is not stupid. Like, sometimes he seems stupid, but he isn't stupid. He understands Foden in midfield is better for us. So why is Bernardo Silva playing in midfield? Because Pep promised him something. I don't know what the exact promise is, but I guarantee you it's something along the lines of you get more minutes in midfield, so please stay. Because Bernardo Silva wants to play in midfield. We should have bent Bernardo off and gotten Olise. Bro, I've watched Bundesliga, this season. Olise has been balling the fuck out. Imagine if we had him, bro. We can play him right wing. We can play him attacking midfield. Oh, De Bruyne is injured. You have Olise. Don't worry. You have Olise. Oh no, we don't. Bayern Munich have them. But no worries. We don't need to make any signings. I promise you. Our squad is just fine. Our 20 players is just fine. What are you panicking about? We won't have a bunch of injuries. Bernardo Silva, I mean, mediocre. Foden. He was mediocre, but not quite of his own making. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. I can't give him more than that because he was mediocre. But I don't think it's his fault. I think Pep Guardiola shoved him onto the wing when he should have played in midfield. They should have allowed him to control the tempo of the game and create a little bit. Foden is not a creative midfielder, but he creates more than Bernardo Silva and than Gundogan combined. So, again, he's not a creative midfielder, but he's an 8 who can do some creation. And he has that shot from distance on him. So he should simply be in midfield, especially when we are lacking in creativity. We'll get to Nunez in a second. In fact, we'll get to him now, because it ties in perfectly. Nunez is able to create as well, just like Foden is, but not to the extent that we need. Not to the Savio extent, not to the Doku extent, not to the Bob extent, not to the De Bruyne extent. These are the types of players who really create. Now, Nunez, he is a decent finisher. Savio, he creates more than Nunez. He doesn't score as much as Nunez. So it's a give and take thing, right? But at the end of the day, you still need some creators to actually get those goals. So sometimes you will play with Savio on the pitch. Sometimes you will play with Nunez on the pitch, depending on what you need. Sometimes you'll have De Bruyne on the pitch. Whatever it is, Nunez, he was one of our better players. And I would dare say he was our man of the match with a 7 out of 10. Which, yikes, man of the match with 7 out of 10. Obviously, the man of the match in general was a Bournemouth player. I think Chrissy, to be honest. Chrissy was really good in that first half. Might be man of the match. So, but for Man City, I would give it to Nunez. He was solid again, but he's not creative enough to be carrying our creativity. Now, Nunez is actually completely fine if we have Jeremy Doku over here on the right, or if we have De Bruyne here in midfield. When we have someone else to create, well, Nunez is exactly fine. Similarly, if we have Savio playing, we should have someone who has a bit more output on the pitch as well. So maybe Savio should be combined with Oscar Bob. We know Oscar Bob has high output. That kind of combinations. We need a creator together with a finisher, right? Today we only had one finisher. Or sorry, two finishers actually, because Nunez again can't finish. And 0 creators. We had two finishers, 0 creators. So what are we doing? What are we doing really? Haaland, you are last. If we had a striker, even if it is Chris fucking Wood, we could bench this fucking Dolphin when he plays like this. But go back to the treble season, yeah? You remember Haaland scoring goal after goal after goal? You know why he scored so many goals? Because he never played the full fucking 90. He kept getting hooked. You know why he kept getting hooked? Because that kept him fit and it kept him on his toes and it meant he knew, if I drop a stinker, Alvarez takes my job. So he played good. He had responsibilities. He had to keep himself accountable. Now, that's gone. So, what can I really say positively about this game? Nothing. Haaland finishing. How can you be that tall and not be able to finish a fucking header, mate? For fuck's sake. Pep Guardiola. Hey, Pep. You can join the party. I don't know what your tactics were. I really don't. I've tried to think about it a little bit. I haven't been able to figure it out. I actually don't know what Pep's strategy was in this game. If Doku was fit, why didn't he start? Was it too much of an injury risk? Like the problem with going after Pep is I just don't know what the injury situation is. Clearly he lied about all 4 of these being injured because he claimed all 4 of them are injured. Well, clearly they aren't. So what is the injury situation? He lied about Doku being injured when he wasn't. De Bruyne was on the bench even though he was supposed to be injured. So it's difficult for me to criticize Pep. And I don't even know what the injury situation is. I want him to win these games, and he should win these games, so he should do better. But what even is our injury situation, Pep? Like, come on. Can you be honest about that much at the very least? I'd honestly love to know. Maybe he's trying to play some mind games, clearly they didn't work, and that's why we lost. We should do better. We still win the Premier League, yeah. This is, by the way, a side note. People misunderstand why I'm so angry about this stuff. I want to win a treble, a quadruple. That is unrealistic to ask, I know. But I want to try. I want to, at the very least, try. And my priorities are Premier League and Champions League. I am not convinced that Manchester City will ever win a Champions League title unless we are at least 5 points clear of our rest of our competition by the time the quarterfinals roll around. Unless we are lucky with an easier draw in the quarterfinals, then maybe in the semi-finals. But we need to be 5 points clear by the time those difficult fixtures roll around. You know why? Manchester City has never gone to a final in the Champions League unless either it was okay to drop points in the league, the final in 2021, we were so far ahead, it was okay to drop points in the league, or because we have given up on the Premier League, which we had in 2023, and we only ended up winning the league because Arsenal completely, absolutely bottled it. So I am not convinced we can win Champions Leagues while being in a close title race. I simply don't believe that. So I want to win Champions Leagues. So we need to take these leads. We need to get that 8-point lead over Arsenal. We need to get ahead of Liverpool before those difficult fixtures roll around. And people who keep saying, we're gonna win the Premier League anyways. I respect you. I understand you. But you're not understanding me. My concern is not the Premier League. I know we're gonna win the Premier League. What I want to do is set us up to win a Champions League next to it. Because I really want to catch up to Man United's 3. Because that's what they keep waffling about, isn't it? Oh, we've got 3. I want to catch up to that. So, for anyone, yeah, who keeps saying we'll win the Premier League anyways, you're right. But that's not the point. That's not the point. Anyhow, thank you for watching along to the end. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a bunch. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of November. That I don't know if that's gonna work. International break is gonna fuck that up. Like, if I look at how quickly I'm gaining subscribers right now, that should work. But international break, your views die, bro. Your views die. So probably not, if I'm being honest. But we can try. We can try. Be up there. Subscribe now, and I'll see you guys on the next one.